I work as a set designer and artist. I work with a lot of organizations, schools, theaters, and things like that that need props. And so whenever they need something that they can't build out of Luan or plywood, then I can do something very dimensional. This is for Mary Poppins. Right. If you remember the scene in the movie, it happens, there's the old woman who's feeding the birds. And she's doing it in front of a large, like the bank or the cathedral or St. Peter's Cathedral. And so they wanted this massive structure. And then the idea of this woman sitting here feeding the birds in front of it. And then there'll be a number of other scenes in front of it, but that's primarily what that was for. Well, it's very lightweight. It's easy to carve. And I've done a number of projects where they want something very sculptural or give you an idea, if you're familiar with the Portofino Center that's over here, all the decorations, all the window trim and everything is all foam. And then they stucco cover it. You can create really massive structures, but there's no weight to it. The only issue too is that when I work outside, I'm kind of at the mercy of the weather. The wind will come by and it'll just flip up my boards and send them sailing, so I'm chasing my stuff around a lot, quite a bit. With theater, I work, it's a very collaborative process. So I work with a director, and then whoever else has got a say in it, and then we kind of create the look that we're going for. With the city of Houston, I did the football. They basically said, okay, here's the football clock, replicate it, but here are your dimensions. You can't be any larger than this and any wider than that, and then I do that. And it was for the Thanksgiving parade in Houston. Yeah, it's been quite a journey because I started off as basically a 2D artist. I was painting murals, trompe l'oeil, trying to create form where there wasn't form. And it wasn't until I got involved with the youth choir doing the props for the church that I got to work in form. And then my combination of painting and sculpture, and I could combine that, and then drifted into theater design and did a lot of different shows for different companies around in the area. So it's been keeping me pretty busy. They had just moved into Styrofoam for their sets and stuff, and they had the hot knives, but they didn't know anything about them. So they had all the tools, and I had a background in sculpture. I had studied that and loved it, but I had never been aware that you could actually do this in foam. So with the right tools, they basically said, okay, here's the hot knife, here's the foam, go play with it and see what you can do. And I loved it because it's, you can instantly carve something. It's not like Michelangelo, trying to carve something out of marble rock. This is a lot more, immediate. So the instant gratification. So you can create something rather quickly, and if you hard coat it with you can make it permanent and install it somewhere and create a work of art that can be installed and actually last indefinitely, because this stuff doesn't break down. We did the Polar Express, and with the addition of sound effects and smoke effects, liquid nitrogen jetting out from there, it really gives the illusion that you have a. In fact, the greatest compliment people would say when they sit there in the audience said, "How did you get a train on stage?" It's not a train, it's a facade. It's all smoke and mirrors, but it gives the illusion, So that's why, like I said, I love theater because I'm working in collaboration with a lot of other artists, musicians, and lighting technicians, and you can really suspend disbelief and think that what you're looking at is what you're seeing. So, but that's the beauty of it. I was a gallery artist for 20 years, painting in my studio, but I much prefer to be out, with people and learning how to, the give and take of working with people and trying to create whatever vision they have, for their show or their event. So that's what I enjoy.